Radio and Love 99.5. Contest 3 in the quarterfinals edition of the Love FM's High Schools Debate for the year 2025 is just about to come your way. We'd like to say a big thank you to Yas Toothpaste. And please put your hands together for Reverend Acosta. He's with Yas and he's with us this afternoon to witness and observe how the contest will go. Reverend Acosta, good afternoon to you and thanks very much for joining us. Now, so talking about the Yas Toothpaste, they offer a complete oral health solution with 3 variants on the market. Now, they have the Yas Total Care, the Yas Whitening, and the Yas Herbal. Now, it is formulated to protect against cavities, tooth decay, plaques, and bad breath. Yas Toothpaste also promotes a brighter smile, healthy gums, and stronger teeth. For maximum protection, always use Yas Toothpaste with Yas toothbrushes, which are available nationwide. Yas is a caring brand for caring families. Let me say a big thank you also to the Jackson University College for supporting us as always. And they have the Jackson Institute of Innovation and Leadership, that is JIL. Now, in partnership with the British Council, the IELTS and the IDP, they're offering IELTS tuition in Ghana for those aiming to work or study abroad. They provide in-person and online classes. JIL also has a study in Quebec, Canada, program for English fluent or French learning children aged between 5 to 15. They assist with documentation and offer flexible rates. You can find their campus at number 4 Jackson Street at IDRC near the KNUST. You want to send them a mail? The address is len@jill.edu.gh, or you can also visit www.jill.edu.gh for more details. Jackson University College, hope for a brighter future. Also, a proud sponsor is the H&H 4-in-1 Gary Mix. I love it, and I know the students here love it as well. Now, if you're watching us or listening to us, try it, and you would also fall in love with it. So if you're looking for a quick, tasty, and satisfying snack, H&H 4-in-1 Gary Mix is your perfect answer. Now, this popular choice features crispy Gary, creamer, roasted groundnuts, and sugar. Just add water. I prefer Vena mineral water. I stir, and I get to enjoy it. H&H has added H&H chocolate malt Gary soakings and the H&H soya Gary soakings to the family. So grab these affordable H&H Gary Mix products in shops nationwide. H&H 4-in-1 Gary Mix, it is a perfect mix of crunch, flavor, and fun. I know that you know about EcoBank, and indeed you know that they are the Pan-African Bank. Now, many Ghanaians are unaware of essential emergency numbers, including those for financial crisis. However, EcoBank has introduced a new money emergency number, *770#. Now, this service provides instant access to crucial financial services like loans, fund transfers, utility payments, airtime, and data purchases. Even without an internet connection, still dial *770# today and get immediate financial assistance. EcoBank, they are the Pan-African Bank. You want to travel? Maybe you are the head of your school. You want to take your students on a trip or an excursion. Listen up, because Bonva Stores is into that. Bonva Stores is your reliable partner for travel, work or study abroad aspirations. They provide extensive services like visa assistance, hotel and flight bookings, guide tours, corporate travels, and school excursions. With over 10 years experience, they make travel documentation and consultation stress-free. Bonvas also has paid internships in Japan for IT students and hospitality jobs in the United States of America, Spain, and France. Locate them near the Victory Baptist Church at Aija. You can visit www.bonvastores.com. Bonva Stores, the joy of tourism. And of course, a big thank you to our host, the Christian Service University. And for your information, they are admitting students for the 2025-2026 academic year. Undergraduate and master's programs are offered at CSU with morning, evening, and weekend schedules. CSU provides half scholarship to prospective students with aggregate 6 to 15. You can find CSU at Star Junction, Santase. Also, you can visit csu.edu.gh for admissions and other enquiries. CSU, faith, scholarship, and integrity. Patricia, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, David. How are you?
I am well, thanks for asking. Becca, Great. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, David.
Well, Bex, I don't know whether you are for the 3-3-4 or the 4-4-2 formation.
1-1-1, 6-6-6.
What would you want to say, Patricia, to Mrs. Andrews, Dr. Mrs. Andrews, as she celebrates her birthday today?
Oh, happy birthday to her, and we wish that she lives beyond Love 99.5 FM. She lives beyond that. And we are telling her that you're all coming for her graduation party as well. Yeah. So she should just double up everything and give us everything we want to enjoy on the day.
Most definitely.
Now,
so take it away.
Let me say thank you to Daxa Dental Clinic, where Dr. Saba and his team of professionals will make sure that you enjoy a 10% of a wide range or specialist dental services like extraction, cleaning, polishing, filling, braces, bad breath treatment, and also use ultra-modern digital x-rays for accurate diagnosis for you. Daxa Dental works from Mondays to Saturdays, and even on Sundays, they work from 12 noon to 4 p.m. Find them, book an appointment today at their branches located at IPT, opposite the first gate of Amsterdam, Macomb. They are also inside the city-style building and Ahojo, opposite Latex Foam. Daxa Dental Clinic, smile with confidence.
Amanono Rural Bank PLC Limited, which offers commercial, salary, auto, personal, group, SME, agric, and Nkoso microfinance loans. We also operate different accounts and any that sources to savings. Receive your local and international money transfers from us. Our headquarters, you can find at Nginehini, opposite the lorry station, and you can also find us at Mrom Estresso, Ebuakwa, Tafo, Bibieni, and Asafo Market near the VVIP bus terminal. Amanono Rural Bank PLC Limited. Service beyond expectation.
Palm University College is also admitting prospective students for their BSc and MSc options in Business Information Technology, Business Administration, Science, Information Technology Management, Health Services Management, and Leadership programs. We have an experienced faculty, a stimulating environment, and also subsidized fees because we want everybody to be able to attend Palm University College. Now, students can also undertake a one-semester exchange program with Oklahoma State University in the United States of America. Log on to www.palm.edu.gh or visit our campus at Manya Jokpanya, Shire Hills, Greater Accra. Palm University College, we say become a Palmer today and succeed.
Now, for high quality, customized, elegant, and affordable wedding, engagement, or promise rings, visit St. Ben Jewelry today. We design white, yellow, rose gold, and silver rings, earrings, bracelets, wrist watches, and other accessories. We offer special flexible payment terms for couples. You can locate us at Amakum opposite Edward Nasser and at Doom Chelsea House opposite Standard Chartered Bank. St. Ben Jewelry, just dream it and it will be done.
Otiasika Rural Bank is also here to give you a current savings, fixed deposit, SUSU, or infant savings account. Go to them also for your fast-track loans with the lowest interest rates on the market. Receive your Western Union, EaseWage, iTrans, mobile money, and Ghana Pay electronic transfers from any of our branches located at Kofi Ase, Asante Mampon, Ejura, Sipebwo Krom, Abofo, Makro, Swami Market, and Kenkenso, and also Dr. Mensa. Otiasika Rural Bank, we are your savior in rural banking.
A big thank you to Dunamis Plus, which provides quality, affordable, fire-resistant, waterproof, anti-rust, and bulletproof interior, exterior, and PVC security doors for homes, offices, schools, and other institutions. Our wooden doors come with all accessories. We also have original, beautiful furniture from Turkey. Visit our showrooms at Anhojo Atinga Junction off the Lameta Road, Tanoso opposite the Catholic Church, and Buaho close to the Cars Quarry Factory. Dunamis Plus, we give you real value for your money.
A big thank you also going out to Zwan. They have introduced the Zwan luncheon meats, the cocktail sausages, and also hot dogs. It is your secret to delicious, yummy, and energetic meals. It is perfect for your spaghetti, noodles, salad, burgers, sandwiches, and any favorite food that you like. Zwan offers both taste and nutrition, and so you can choose from our chicken, beef, turkey, hot and spicy flavors. Zwan products are available at every shop at KDTR Dubai Market, Dr. Mensa, Edum, and also every supermarket nationwide. Grab Zwan today and have a wonderful taste.
Now, ABA Herbal Center specializes in the treatment of glaucoma, cataract, long and short-sightedness, and every kind of eye problem. If you experience menstrual disorder, hypertension, stroke, prostate, liver, and kidney-related diseases, we are here to help you. You can find ABA Herbal at Kwadaso Ejunase behind the main market, Kumasi, and Doma Ahenkro. We are near the Ebenezer Preschool adjacent to Apia Kubi Cold Store.
David will be taking over, but before he does, let's say thank you to Esilali Empire, the official makeup artist for the Love FM High Schools debate. As always, I can't stress it enough. Sign up for our 2 weeks intensive or 3 months regular makeup class and become a professional. Book us today and also look very beautiful for all your occasions. We also sell ladies wear, quality designer shoes, bags, accessories, perfumes, body splashes, and more. Enjoy our signature vegetable, chicken, potato, and pasta salad, also prepared fresh daily at Salado GH. Call Eslali right now on 024-799-0760 for all your event orders. Locate Eslali Empire and Salado GH at Amakom next to Wachi Kumasi. Eslali Empire, we say your world of beauty and more.
And lastly, before we set sail, we say a big thank you to Gimpa Kumasi campus, which is accepting applicants or applications for our diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate diploma programs. We have a master's program in supply chain management, project management, accounting and taxation. Gimpa offers a 4-month postgraduate diploma in occupational safety, health and environmental management. Sign up for our evenings, weekends and regular lectures. Visit our campus behind the Kumasi City Mall, Asqua, and log on to www.gimpa.edu.gh on how to apply. David, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Patricia Amabunsu, and of course, Becca. And please put your hands together for them for me. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. So we have already had 2 contests during this quarterfinal stage of the 2025 edition of the Love FM High Schools Debate. Contest 1 on Monday was between KNUST Senior High and, of course, Our Lady of Grace. Yesterday was Prempe and Osei Duchum. Today is going to be between St. Louis Senior High School and T.I. AMASS. We've already told you that we're live on radio on Love 99.5. We're live on Facebook, where we want you to get interactive with us. Drop comments. It's on Facebook on Love 99.5. We're live on television, Joy Prime and Joy Learning. In about 10 minutes' time, the debate will start. So let me take this opportunity to introduce to you and also welcome our chairperson and, of course, the ambassador for the Love FM High Schools Debate. She's somebody who, between the years 1979 and 1992, was the assistant head mistress for Kumasi High School. Then between 1992 and 2008, she became the pioneering head mistress of KNUST Junior High School. 2009, she, together with her husband, Professor Jackson, decided to form the Jackson Educational Complex. It's now known as the Jackson University College. Jackson University College, for your information, has over 22,000 graduates, and they are now offering a master's program. Jackson University has added a new department called the Jackson Institute of Technology. Please put your hands together for our chairperson, Mrs. Theodosia Jackson. Now, with that out of the way, let me also introduce to you our panel of judges who are already seated here this afternoon. Let me start with Judge 1. Now, she is Dr. Mrs. Lucy Bonku. Many call her Mama Lou. Now, she is a senior lecturer at Kumasi Technical University, and she teaches English and communication skills. She has more than 30 years' experience in the field. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for one of our judges, Dr. Mrs. Lucy Bonku. Also with us this afternoon as one of our judges is Professor Anthony Kofi Osei-Fosu. He's an associate professor at the Department of Economics at KNUST. He has taught for over 30 years and still teaching. And so let's acknowledge his presence as we put our hands together for Professor Anthony Kofi Osei-Fosu, also known as OFAG. Now, Dr. Peter Arthur is the lead judge for the Love FM High Schools Debate. Now, he is the former head of the English department and also former head of the Language and Communication Sciences department at the KNUST. He delves into textuality, that is oral and written, and all kinds of text. And so please put your hands together for our lead judge, Dr. Peter Arthur, also known as PRO. In a bit, I'll be calling on him to run us through the rules of engagement and also tell us how they score. But I'd like to inform you about one particular thing. As judges, they listen attentively, they listen with rapt attention to the debaters, and they score them. At the end of the day, we put their results together. But for a school to advance to the next stage, we have what we call the unanimous decision, and also we have the majority decision. Let me explain them to you. When it comes to the unanimous decision, it means that all the 3 judges scored for the school that will advance. So when we are announcing the results and you hear, for example, a school having one high mark than the other, it does not mean that automatically you're qualifying to the next stage. No. We use the 2 judges' score to determine which school is going to advance to the next stage of the competition. With that out of the way, please, with a round of applause, let's welcome our lead judge, PRO, that is Dr. Peter Arthur, to run us through the rules of engagement and also how they score. So listen attentively to him so that when they're done with their job, you'll understand and appreciate what they have done. Doc, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dave. Madam Chair, this platform is for incubating wisdom in our young ones. And with your permission, I give the scores and then the rules of engagement. Okay. Now, we have 5 parameters for the scores: organization and clarity, argument and development, effective use of rebuttal, presentation style, role as a particular debater. Now, organization and clarity, it's how you start, how you develop, and how you end. Of course, when we talk about clarity, we are talking about how you raise a point and how clear that point is. It's part of it. The first speaker is taking 15 seconds. 15 marks for that. The second speaker is taking 10 marks for that. And the summary is going for 5 marks. Argument and development. Of course, you are all aware how you raise a point and you support a point. You are all aware of that. But at this stage, we are more interested in your appeals, your body appeal, your verbal appeal. As for the body appeal, it's working all right, your gestures and all that, your voice. But verbal appeal, how you are able to engage your listeners so that you take them along with you. Now, the first speaker is taking 15 marks, the second speaker is taking 10 marks, and then the summary is for 5 marks. Then we have effective use of rebuttal. We know. You just have to listen attentively. And if you realize that the other speaker is not giving you enough reasoning, then it is your duty to tell us why you think the other speaker is not giving us enough reasoning. And the first speaker is taking 5 marks, the second speaker is taking 10 marks, and then the summary is going for 5. Presentation style, the way you engage your audience, your body language. And when we talk about body language, it's got to do with a lot. And then the way you use the platform. But let me tell you this. This exercise is a friendly one. We are not here to fight. So please, as much as possible, try to be very decorous in your language. All right? I mean, we are here to just exercise our intellectual abilities. We are not here to fight. Okay? So be very decorous. Decorum is very important. The first speaker is taking 5 marks, the second speaker is taking 3 marks, and then the summary is 2 marks. Role as a particular debater. If you're a first speaker, you are a powerful speaker, and you are being supported. And the first speaker is taking 5 marks, the second speaker is taking 3, and then the summary is going for 2. Now, let's pay attention to the rules of engagement. The principal speaker on the affirmative team presents argument in support of the motion. That is 10 minutes. The principal speaker on the opposing team presents argument opposing the resolution. That is 10 minutes. The second speaker on the affirmative team presents further argument in support of the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the opposition speaker. 7 minutes. The second speaker on the opposing team presents further arguments against the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the previous affirmative speaker. This time, 7 minutes. The principal speaker on the affirmative team comes with closing statement to their argument without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttals, if any, 5 minutes. Then the principal speaker on the opposing team comes with closing statement to their argument without adding any new information, and also uses that opportunity to respond to rebuttal, if necessary. That's also 5 minutes. Now, let's watch this. Every speaker must be audible. And you see the way I've taken the microphone close to my mouth. If you do that, you'll be very audible. And then there cannot be any interruption. Every speaker must wait for his or her turn. And the principal speaker is raising up to 5 points. You can go less, but up to 5 points. We can't score you more than that. And then the supporting speaker is raising up to 3 points. We can't score you more than that. Now let's pay attention for other rules. He who asserts must prove. And in order to establish an assertion, the team must support the assertion with enough facts and evidence. And of course, facts and evidence must be accurate. Examples or visual materials are permissible. And once introduced, they become available for the opponent's use also. Tangible evidence must be tendered as exhibits to support facts. And then in rebuttals, the debater rebuttant may ask any constructive and clear question that has a direct bearing on the point raised. And the one rebuttant must confine him or herself to questions and not to make any comment, any statement, or ask any rhetorical question. Supporters from both sides must exercise discipline in order not to intimidate, frustrate, or induce the opponent in any way. Failure will result in deduction of marks. And let's talk about time. Debaters must respect time. And when you are bailed out, you must end your presentation. Otherwise, you will lose marks. And in the case of a tie, the two schools involved will be given motions to debate within 2 days or 48 hours. Let's take note of this. It's been said, and for the sake of emphasis, I am repeating it. The score of one judge cannot overturn that of two judges. See the way I've taken my time. Pay attention. There is either a majority decision from the judges, meaning 2 judges out of the 3 score for a school. There could also be a unanimous decision, meaning all 3 judges score for a school. Now, if you have any problem whatsoever, the producer is there. He's Mr. Yes, he's raised a hand. Yes, Eugene. He's Eugene. Yes, turn back to him, report to him, and he will sort you out. Good. Dave, I'm through with that.
Please put your hands together for him for me. Dr. Peter, Kwesi Arthur there. Doc, thanks very much. So I'm believing and hoping that the rules as have been stipulated has gone down well with each and every one of us. But one thing that I haven't done yet, and I want to do right now, is the fact that when Doctor was engaging us, he made mention of the fact that you ought to respect time. And so when you are bailed out, he's told you what to do. So we have an accurate timekeeper in the person of Emmanuel Koji. If you are halfway through your presentation, he would alert you by doing this. And then when your time is entirely up, this is what you will hear. Well, thank you very much. Please, I think he deserves a round of applause, doesn't he? It's now time for us to invite the debaters to mount the podium, grab their seats, and when it's their turn, they debate. It is going to be contest 3 in the quarterfinal stage of the 2025 edition of the Love FM's High Schools debate. St. Louis Senior High School are facing T.I. Ahmadiyya Senior High School. Listen, gentlemen, let's do the rituals. The rituals, I mean the singing of the school anthems and all that. But before then, the motion is MMDCEs must be elected. MMDCEs must be elected. St. Louis are for the motion. T.I. AMASS, they are against the motion. St. Louis. St. Louis. St. Louis. Please stand. And again, I'm asking you to stand because at this point in time, you ought to sing for us your school's anthem. And then we get to welcome your debaters. Come, make your school proud. Are you ready to sing your school anthem? No, I can't hear you. Are you ready to sing for us your school anthem? You say you are. Uncle Collins, are you ready? He says he is. So follow his lead. He's going to play for you your school anthem. All you need to do is to sing along. So if you're ready, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Posterity depends on us. Then we present as the primus inter pares. We shall always be the first among the poor.
Well, thank you very much for singing for us the school anthem. And please put your hands together for your own selves. I saw some of you singing with smiles on your faces, and that's what we look out for. At this point in time, let's welcome your debaters. Please, so with a round of applause and some noise making, let's welcome the principal speaker, Segiram Ajwa Jandu, and supported by Pamela J.B. Morrison. All right. They are in the auditorium right now. I can see their coach on the patron beaming with smiles and also putting his hands together for them, hoping and praying that they will make their school proud this afternoon. Okay. Ladies, are you comfortable? They say they are comfortable. Please take your seats for me. AMASS. AMASS. Phobia. Please stand. And you're also about to stand because you have to sing for us the school anthem, after which we get to welcome your debaters as well. Are you ready? No, I can't hear you. I want to feel the energy in you. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Yeah. So let's do it on 3. Collins, are you ready? He says he is. So on 3. 1, 2, go. Well, thank you very much for singing for us the school anthem with all the energy you can master. And those were students of T.I. AMASS Kumasi. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's welcome their debaters as well. The principal speaker is Efifa Kingsley Entry, supported by Adobia Ya Patience. All right, so there they are. Well, I'm seeing some new faces. Well, that's nice, huh? All right, so good afternoon to you as well. Trust that you're well. Your seats are comfortable? They say it is. All right, so good to have you join us on the podium. Madam Chairperson, with your permission, can we begin the debate? She's given her blessing by giving us a thumbs up. Panel of judges, are you ready? They've nodded in affirmation that they are. Debaters, are you ready? Well, they've nodded with smiles, telling me that they are as well. Accurate timekeeper, are you ready? He says he is. So let's go to St. Louis and invite the principal speaker, who is in the person of Segiram Ajwa Jandu, to set the ball rolling by way of the debate. Segiram, please take over.
Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at the crossroads of Ghana's democratic journey. As we champion the cause of our democracy, it is paradoxical that we continue to appoint rather than elect our metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives. These leaders shape our local destinies, yet their selection remains detached from the people they serve. Today, we advocate for a fundamental shift, electing MMDCEs. By doing so, we empower local communities, foster accountability, and also inject some fresh energy into our democracy. It's time to bridge the gap between democratic ideals and practice. Good afternoon to you, the SHS Chair, Board, and just panel of jury, on-point timekeeper, distinguished guests, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. I am a pace-setter by name Seram Ajwa Jandu from the land of St. Louis Senior High School, rising as the principal speaker in full affirmation of the motion, quote and unquote, MMDCEs must be elected. The chair kindly permits me to explain the key terms in the motion. MMDCE is the acronym for Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Chief Executives. These people serve as the political and the executive heads of our metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, as they are responsible for implementing political development projects, overseeing public services, and also maintaining security and order at the local level. According to Cambridge Dictionary, must is a modal verb which is used to show that it is necessary or very important that something happens in the present or the future. From the same source, elect means to decide on or to choose, especially to choose a person for a particular job by voting. The motion simply seeks to posit that the leaders of local government units must be elected by the residents of those areas for greater democratic participation and inclusivity, of which we rise to support. We will therefore be presenting our arguments as to why MMDCEs must be elected. As and when needed, exhibits will be tendered in to back our claim. The chair, our first point in support of our stance as to why MMDCEs must be elected is that it enhances democratic governance. Electing MMDCEs ensures that local leaders are directly responsible and accountable to the people, strengthening the grassroots of our democracy by allowing citizens to vote for their own leaders rather than relying on presidential appointments. By allowing this, we directly move from a system where authority flows directly downwards from the presidency to one where legitimacy springs upwards from our own people. So my people, can we truly call ourselves a thriving democracy when the very leaders closest to us are not chosen by us? Panel of jury, the voice of the Ghanaian citizenry on this matter is not a whisper. It is a thunderous roar. And I know my opponents will come here and say that we, the citizens, are the very people who elected our president, and therefore we must trust him in every national decision, including appointments of MMDCEs. But please note that with this appointment, most of the local residents in the area do not even know these MMDCEs that have been appointed, not even to talk about discussing their problems with them and even seeing to it that it is being solved. So if the problem still remains, why then should we appoint these MMDCEs? Panel of jury, Afrobarometer's round 7 survey revealed that 69% of Ghanaians strongly agree that our MMDCEs must be elected. And from this percentage, there is a strong 55% that says that they strongly agree. And so, MMDCEs should be elected. This isn't just a mere preference. It is a legitimate democratic demand for self-determination at the local level. To deny this means to deny the core principle of popular sovereignty. Point 2, the chair, the election of MMDCEs will promote accountability as well as transparency. Elected MMDCEs will be more accountable and responsive to the people and their needs, since their tenure of office depends on public satisfaction, unlike appointed MMDCEs, who will just prioritize loyalty to the appointing authority, which is the president. Elected MMDCEs will focus entirely on developmental projects. Direct elections create a powerful accountability mechanism, one which is currently absent in our local governance system. So when MMDCEs know that they must face the electorate every four years, they will naturally prioritize community development over pleasing political benefactors in Accra. Imagine a district chief executive who knows that no matter how poorly he performs, he will still retain his job so far as he continues to please the appointing authority, which is the president, just as the mindset of some of the girls said to their boyfriends. And you know, this is our reality. Ghana's constitution grants too much unchecked power to the president to appoint these MMDCEs, and as a result, loyalty is being placed above competence. If MMDCEs were to be elected, they would become accountable and also transparent directly to the people and not to the party hierarchies. Dr. Atho Atta, the former head of local government service, said that the election of MMDCEs will accelerate transparency, accountability, and probity at local government growth and development in our communities. So, if the election of MMDCEs will promote accountability as well as transparency, why then don't we encourage it? Another key point in support of our stance as to why MMDCEs must be elected is that it reduces partisan influence in local governance. Currently, MMDCEs appointments are often politically motivated, and this leads to favoritism and exclusion of people who are competent from the opposing parties. By instituting elections, we actually open the field wide to qualified candidates regardless of their political affiliation, ensuring that leadership positions go to people who are competent and have the equipment to serve our communities. Electing MMDCEs, that we are saying, may not eliminate partisanship completely, but it does create space for independent candidates and also ensures that even party-affiliated candidates will demonstrate their worth to the voters before they are being elected into power. For example, the recent appointment of MMDCEs by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama obviously went to NDC and the chair. This is perfectly why we are saying that we should stop this system of political patronage. This is not governance, is it? It is party favoritism. So if the one who appoints these people, the president, gives the authority to his own people, what is the good thing in this? The chair, Professor Ransford Jampo, the CEO of Ghana Shippers Authority, said that he is so disappointed by the gross incompetence of most of the MMDCEs regarding the fact that most of them have become square pegs in round holes, saying that most of them have become these square pegs in round holes as a result of party rewardism. So I ask, if we all want better roads, schools, and services, why then should we prioritize a system? Why should we also stick with a system that prioritizes party loyalty over performance? Unless we all don't want our country to progress, electing MMDCEs doesn't just allow competence, it demands it. Point 4, the chair, election of MMDCEs will encourage citizen participation in governance. Electing MMDCEs will significantly boost civic engagement by giving citizens the direct control over who to lead them. Currently, Ghanaians have limited ways to influence appointed MMDCEs between elections. But however, electing these local leaders would create regular opportunities through public input, through something such as community meetings, as well as participatory budgeting. The benefits of citizen participation, the chair in local governance, is evidence. 1, elected MMDCEs will consult residents regularly in order to stay in office, and also communities will begin to develop trust in the local government because their voices are being heard. On April 22nd, 2025, WordPress.org highlighted a transformative shift in U.S. local governance as it said that citizens now play a major role in electing their own mayors. This model, rooted in quote and unquote, "we the people democracy," proves that when communities directly choose their own leaders, governance becomes more inclusive and responsive. So why can't Ghana, a unitary state, empower its people to choose its MMDCEs? After all, it is possible. Or phobia, what do you say? Lastly, the chair, the House, election of MMDCEs will accelerate local development. Elected MMDCEs will be under pressure to deliver development projects to ensure that they are being re-elected, unlike appointed ones who do not even have such motivation. Competitive elections will bring forward the visionary and the competent leaders to drive progress in our districts. Knowing that their political future depends on public satisfaction, they will be more likely to prioritize community development instead of pleasing their appointing authority. And this performance-based system contrasts with the current arrangement where underperforming people retain their positions through political connections rather than their demonstrated achievements. Nana Obri Boahin, a former general secretary of the New Patriotic Party, said that the elected MMDCEs will not only strengthen local government systems, but also it will facilitate our local communities. So, Masphobia, how many of you here want your communities to be massively built just because of someone called an MMDCE? I know you all have raised your hand in your mind, but you're just so shy to raise your hand. So please, if election of MMDCs will accelerate local development, I believe. I rest my case.
The outstanding chairperson, bold and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, heads of school presidents, respected teachers, our lovely co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am Afrifa Kingsley Entry, a proud principal speaker representing T.I. High School, Kumasi. The motion before the House today is, I quote, MMDCs must be elected, unquote. And we, from this noble institution, strongly rise to speak against the said motion. But the chair, for clear argument and development, kindly allow me to explain some key terms in the motion. First, MMDCs stands for Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, who, according to Article 243, Clause 2B and C, are responsible for the day-to-day performance of the executive and administrative function of the District Assembly, and also the representatives of the central government. The modal verb, according to Cambridge Dictionary, must means something that is necessary. The active verb, elected, according to the same source, means something that is necessary. The active verb, elected, according to the same source, means to decide on or choose, especially to choose a person for a particular job by voting. All in all, the chair, the motion simply means that MMDCs should be elected through voting and not by appointment. And this is where the bone of contention lies. Ladies and gentlemen, since the key terms in the motion are clarified, let me begin by affirming our stance on the motion. Point one, the chair, we believe that the cost of running an election will increase exponentially if MMDCs were to be elected. For instance, in an article published by Ghana Web on 7 December 2024, reported that the 2024 general election was projected to cost the country approximately 800 million Ghana cedis. Yes, that's much, Mama Lou. This was even so because the then finance minister had slashed the Electoral Commission initial proposal of 932.03 million Ghana cedis to this figure. So, adding over 260 local government executives to the race will mean spending government entire budget on election. A cost we cannot bear. Point two, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we believe that subjecting MMDCs to election would exacerbate local conflicts and violence. The stress word here is exacerbate. Already, elections in Ghana are being characterized by violence, as can be seen on the screen. The chair, that was the violence of Ayawasu West Wogon by elections in 2019. Dr. Peter, do my opponents even know that the violence of Techima South in 2020 led to the death of 2 people in some collation centers? Well, you may want to refresh your mind with this article from myjournonline.com. The chair, it is from this premise we argue that introducing electoral competition into the selection of MMDCs will surely expose our communities to frequent outbursts of violence. Or maybe my opponents are suggesting that we sacrifice community peace over political symbolism. If so, I ask, can our security and electoral institutions handle over 260 fiercely contested partisan MMDC elections in already tense local environments? Well, we will need explanations to that. Point 3, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we believe that the Electoral Commission will be overburdened if MMDCs were to be elected. Ladies and gentlemen, already the Electoral Commission is tasked with enormous responsibilities of conducting presidential, parliamentary, and local elections within limited time frame. Adding the elections of MMCs to the workload of the Electoral Commission will lead to some responsibilities being neglected and postponed. The chair, for instance, in the 2020 general election, delays in logistics, technical errors with the biometric system, and challenges with the vote collation highlighted cracks in the Electoral Commission's capacity under existing workloads. Again, in 2019, the Electoral Commission had to postpone several district assembly elections due to logistical limitations, causing disruption to local government. So the chair, the House, if the Electoral Commission is already struggling with election every 4 years, how would my opponents assure us with transparency, credibility, and fairness if MMDC elections are added to the tax of the EC? My dear opponents, they are already overburdened, so don't confuse the House. Point 4, the chair, the House. We believe that the power of appointment ensures that voices of historically disadvantaged groups are heard. The chair, oftentimes, electoral systems reward popularity and wealth over competence and inclusion, systematically excluding minority voices. For instance, in the northern region, certain minority groups, such as the Kokomba, have often lacked strong political representation due to the dominance of larger ethnic blocs. For instance, in 2016, a Kokomba technocrat was appointed as DC in a predominantly Dagomba area. The chair, a decision that brought about balance and inclusion. So, my dear opponents, would such an appointment have been possible in a purely electoral contest dominated by local ethnic voting patterns? Well, we don't know about this. Point 5, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We believe that the central policy coordination is better maintained by appointing MMDCs than through election. The chair, the current appointment system of ensuring that MMDCs who serve as the chief representation of our district to the president are aligned with national policy directives. In line with this, Mohammed, in 2018, in his insightful article, I quote, "Politics in decentralization opines," and I read, "At the local level, MMDCs administer the execution of the mandate of the president and his government through implementation of various policies and programs envisioned." Unquote. The chair, however, by introducing the competitive election of MMDCs, we will risk us shifting our attention from the execution of national policies to political financiers and engaging in political relation battles. Ladies and gentlemen, a vivid example is the 2024 general election, where assembly members of the Akuapem North Assembly accused the Minister of Local Government for diverting common funds meant for developmental purposes. Now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, imagine the wanton explanation of this act. If the MMDCs were fully empowered through electoral mandates, and tell everyone here, if you still stand by opinion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I resume my seat, I would like to seize this moment to debunk certain fallacies made by my confused opponents. The chair, my opponent asserted that elections of MMDCs will ensure democratic governance. But the chair, this is a lie. Because democracy is not just about voting. It is about peace, inclusion, and responsible leadership. Turning every district into a political campaign zone can cause tension and rivalry among neighborhoods and family. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if democracy is truly working, if it leads to division and local conflict, the chair, again, we all know that judges are the mouthpiece of democracy, but judges are not elected. They are appointed. So my opponent, well, I show argument. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponent also said that electing of MMDCs promotes accountability. The chair, this argument holds no water, because it is not only election that creates accountability. Appointed MMDCs are answerable to both president and the assembly, which includes selected members. These members represent the people and have the power to approve or reject decisions. So my opponent don't confuse the House. If you still complain about elected MPs and presidents, what makes us think electing MMDCs would not be any different case? Ladies and gentlemen, they also asserted that electing MMDCs reduces partisan influence and favoritism. My opponent, it seems you don't understand how the election and the democratic process of our country really works. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move to that. Again, our opponents asserted that the election of MMDCs would encourage participating. But the chair, there are many ways to participate in government besides voting. Citizens already elect their assembly members and unit committees. They can also attend town halls meetings and speak up. So, if people don't even vote in local elections now, what makes you think they will suddenly care about voting for MMDCs? The chair, my opponent asserted that majority of Ghanaians support the electing of MMDCs. But the chair, we clearly agree to that, because the chair, I thought my opponent would bring an evidence telling the House that all Ghanaians are hauling for this election. But you can't base on the fact that 10 to 20 interviewed people from each region to represent all the voices of the country. And I'm a born at AMASS. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponent also asserted that electing MMDC members will accelerate local development. Ladies and gentlemen, can my opponent tell the House that no MMDCs has been able to create any social amenities in Israel constituency? Well, even if you don't know, there are several MMDCs who have built hospitals, schools, and other social amenities in their region. So this local development we are talking about is already there, my opponents. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Building on the call to elect MMDCs, let us shine a little light on the real cost of appointment. Communities silenced, local needs ignored, development paused. When people answer to the government rather than the people, accountability suffers. By electing local leaders, we can break that cycle and ensure that the local leaders not only serve their central government, but we, the people. To us, this debate means more than winning. It means that we are ushering in a new governance where the voices of communities are heard and represented. The chair, impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, high court debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, good day. I am Jabe Pamela Morrison of St. Louis Senior High School, rise as supporting speaker for the motion. MMDCs must be elected, quote and unquote. The chair, as my smart and well-mannered principal speaker, has already done the usual tradition. Permit me to add just a little to what was said and also directly address any counter-arguments raised by my co-debaters. Point 6, the chair, MMDCs must be elected to reduce central government control. Now, decentralization is one of Ghana's key principles in local governance, and therefore, electing MMDCs will reduce the excessive control the central government has. It also empowers individuals to make their own decisions to suit their needs without undue influence from Accra. The whole idea behind the policy of decentralization was to present the governance closer to the people, but this has failed completely because their local leaders serve as the pleasure of their presidents. The election of MMDC is a logical step in fulfilling the long-standing promises of Ghana's decentralization. The chair, even some parts of the constitution, contradicts with the appointment of the MMDCs. Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts. It is about to get constitutional. According to the 1992 Constitution, Article 240, Clause 2, it says that there should be local participation in governance. But how can there be local participation when our local leaders are selected by the president, thereby concentrating the entire power in the president? According to the 2020-2023 National Decentralization Action Plan, it says that elected leadership is a key reform. This reform isn't revolutionary, no. It is the completion of Ghana's long-lasting decentralization process, which has not been completed. So, the chair, this means that Ghana cannot claim true decentralization when our local leaders answer to Accra only. Point 7, the chair, MMDCs must be elected to strengthen the rule of law and constitutional compliance. The chair, I am aware that in the 1992 Constitution, Article 243, Clause 1, it mandates the presidential appointment of MMDCs. But in the same Constitution, Article 290, it says that in cases of democratic evolution, there should be amendment. So if there is this Article 290 in our Constitution to allow amendment, why then are we afraid to use it to give the power back to the people? Ghana has already shown the readiness for this reform. In 2019, there was a bill passed in Parliament. This bill was on the amendment of the Constitution. It was later rescheduled for a referendum, but it was postponed due to political consensus building, not as a result of lack of public support. This means that we can draw two critical conclusions. One, we have the mechanism for this change in our Constitution. And two, this national conversation has matured enough to realize the fact that the voices and the wishes of individuals must be reflected in their leadership. The chair, even class prefects are elected, much more MMDCs. How can we even call ourselves the beacon of African democracy when one person, just one single individual, sits in Accra and selects leaders for every single community? To our last argument, the chair, MMDCs must be elected to reduce corruption and patronage. Most times, appointed leaders engage in corruption without fear because, after all, they do not own their position to the people, but to the central government, who is in Accra. elected leaders often faces public scrutiny, which help them to act with integrity. I am not saying that there's a system that can totally eliminate corruption from Ghana. No, what I'm saying is that election provide a safeguard to corruption because elected leaders not only answer to their central government, they answer to we the voters, they answer to civil service, they answer to constituents, and they answer to the media. According to the Auditor General's Office in 2023, the audit of 216 assemblies was a whopping 22,230,000. This exceeds the 2022's audit by 11.17% as shown on the screen. I am not saying that every system is perfect, but what I am saying is that by electing MMDCs, we can 1, break the patronage of appointments, and 2, set clear consequences for corruption. Ladies and gentlemen, the choice is clear. Either we maintain a system that promotes corruption or we adopt a solution that allows accountability and transparency. The chair, my opponents came here and they said that there is increased cost of governance associated with election. The chair, the cost of bad governance cannot be compared to the cost of bad governance due to unaccountability and appointed officials outweighs the cost of election. Good local governance improve economic development, making election a worthwhile approach. They also made mention of the fact that election is a threat to local conflict. They warn us of ethnic and regional divisions, but inclusivity and transparent election have actually promoted unity because every group gets a chance to participate and be heard. The current system of appointment often includes minority voices and breeds resentment. Election foster belonging and representation. They said that through election, people fight, but then I tender in evidence where NDC party loyalists, they set fire to their own office when the government appointed somebody they do not agree with. This means that appointment also causes conflict. My opponent also made mention that voting on MMDCs undermines national development. They said that elected MMDCs may resist the national plans, but this is not true. Elected MMDCs, they know the wishes of their communities, and they are more likely to implement policies that match both the national goals and the local needs. Alignment happens not through control, but through cooperation and accountability. My opponent also made mention that there is overburden when it comes to election. Yet my opponents, every year, we are able to get money to organize presidential elections and parliamentary elections. And you are telling me that we don't have money to organize MMDC election. We from the proposing team, we are saying that the government has enough money and resources to organize the chair house.
The ever-wise chair, bold and impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am Edubia Ya Patience, a proud supporting speaker for T.I. Ahmadiyya Senior High School, Kumasi. The motion before this August House today is, quote, MMDCs must be elected, and I very mainly rise to oppose the said motion. The chair, since my able principal speaker has already elaborated the keywords in the motion, kindly permit me to advance points in support of our stance. Point 6, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we oppose the motion because we believe the appointment of MMDCs is a constitutional mandate which is enshrined in Article 243, Clause 1. This constitutional mandate allows for the president to appoint MMDCs with the concurrence of the local assembly. So then, selecting MMDCs through electoral process could create a more independent local leadership that would challenge the authority of the president and hamper our democracy. The chair, in any case, there is a call for constitutional review in which the issue of MMDC's election might surface. But until then, my dear friends, I would suggest we let the sleeping dog lie. Point 7, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we believe that election of MMDCs would erode non-partisan nature of local governance. The architecture of local governance in Ghana is explicitly non-partisan. Article 248 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana clearly prohibits political party involvement in district assembly election. If safeguard meant to insulate grassroots development from the corrosive effect of partisanship. However, the proposal to elect MMDCs threatens to unravel the foundational principle. The chair, it is in line with this that Mr. Kofi Bento, the vice president for Imani Africa, said we don't need any political party participation to elect DCs and MCs. The chair, this is as published by myjoyonline.com on 28th of April 2022. Finally, the chair, the risk of manipulation and corruption would be high if MMDCs were to be elected. Elected MMDCs may prioritize personal or political interests over a merit-based decision-making. For instance, in the 2024 general election, some candidates allegedly distributed food products and mobile money transfer to influence votes. You can have a look at it on the screen.
Why are you saying food?
Now, my opponent, if votes are bought in this manner and influence is traded, imagine the scale of manipulation when MMDCs were to be elected. Well, I leave the rest to the esteemed judges here. But the chair, before I resume my seat, I would like to debunk some certain fallacies made by my confused opponent on the ground. My opponent asserted that electing MMDCs reduce corruption. Wow, my opponent. Corruption doesn't end with election. In fact, elections can bring new forms of corruption like vote buying, bribery, and favoritism. Appointed MMDCs can be removed more easily if they misbehave. Let us be honest. Can elections alone stop corruption, or do they just change who gets access to it? My opponent, you asserted that Article 240 asserts that we should elect MMDCs and not appoint them. But Article 243 states that MMDCs must be appointed and not elected. This is enshrined in Article 243. My opponent, take note. Again, my opponent asserted that election of MMDCs promotes and strengthens rule of law. But this is a false argument. My opponent asserted that this election of MMDCs reduces central government. My opponent, don't you know local governments are under the central government? And then, why should you tell us that this reduces central government control? Why shouldn't they control them? Because these serve as checks on the local government. The chair of the House, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if appointing MMDCEs were to be the right way forward, do you think His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama would say that in 2026 we would elect them? Empowering our communities starts at the grassroots. It's time to give the power back to the people by electing our MMDCEs. Let's champion democracy, enhance accountability, and also ensure that local leaders truly represent the voices of their constituents. Together, we can build a stronger, more responsive local government, because every community deserves a leader chosen by its own people. The chair, as a principal speaker, my duty here now is to give a decent summary, because a decent argument deserves a decent summary. We asserted that MMDCEs must be elected because 1, it enhances democratic governance. 2, it will promote accountability and transparency. 3, it reduces partisan influence in local governance. 4, election of MMDCEs will encourage citizen participation in governance. 5, election of MMDCEs will accelerate local development. 6, electing MMDCEs will reduce central government control. 7, election of MMDCEs will strengthen the rule of law and constitutional compliance. And 8, MMDCEs must be elected to reduce corruption and patronage. My opponent came here saying that not all Ghanaians claim we should elect. He thought we would come and say that all Ghanaians have agreed that we should elect our MMDCEs. But please note that even in this debate, we do not wait for all the judges to give us the win. It is a majority decision. So if there has been a majority decision by the country, why then should we say that it's not all of Ghana? In fact, how many of us know the duty of MMDCEs? We think it is the duty of the MPs, but rather it is the MMDCEs that are supposed to give us the development that we need. You also claim that votes are being bought for every presidential elections. Yes, how much more MMDCEs? Bribing the president, giving him something small, would be able to change his mind. Can the MMDC come and bribe a number of 70,000 people? No. He would rather give that money to the president, who is going to appoint him. And in this case, it all sums up to the same correction we are talking about. You also claim that in the Constitution, we are supposed to appoint MMDCEs. In this same Constitution, it said that if something is outdated, we have to change it. We are moving forward, we are not stagnant. So if there is something that's not going to help our country in the near future, why don't we change it then? And also, you talked about politicization of local governance. Local governance has already been politicized since MMDCEs are appointed by the president, and these are often based on party affiliation rather than merit. Please listen, that electing MMDCEs enhances transparency and accuracy and accountability, as citizens can vote them out, can vote non-performing leaders out. If I know that this MMDCE is in my constituency and the person isn't working, during the next election I'll kick the person out. In this case, we do not even know who they are, even to talk about they're giving us the developments we need in our constituencies. So why do you say that we should continue to appoint them? You also made mention of the fact that the government won't get the money for elections. We already have our presidential elections. When there is a will, there is a way. If you want an iPhone right now, won't you call the number of people you can call to get that iPhone? In this same way, as we are voting for the president and the MPs, we can just add the MMDCEs as well. After all, it's us they are going to serve, and not just the president. You also made mention that this is a threat to national unity. There are some conflicts that arise in presidential elections as well. But the conflict that arise when the MMDCE chosen isn't a good one. It's more than that of the presidential elections. I know that this MMDCE being elected isn't going to do me any good, but then rather harm. Why then should I sit there for that MMDCE to be appointed? He won't do anything for me, but he's just receiving the money that I, as a taxpayer, I am getting. I won't also allow, so I also call for these conflicts. So if we want to make this election if we also want to make this an accountable one, we should therefore vote for them and not just allow the president to sit there and be appointing people he thinks are loyal to them. He also made mention that the appointment of MMDCEs doesn't bring about corruption and that there is corruption everywhere. My supporting speaker said that yes, electing MMDCEs can't reduce corruption entirely, but then elections may increase. But then, how is an appointed system filled with political loyalists? How is appointment system filled with political loyalists any better? You also claim that, I rest my case.
The chair, my second coming is not to gallivant around, but to summarize what my supporting speaker and I talked about. Point one, the chair, we asserted that electing MMDCs will increase the cost of funding elections exponentially. 2, subjecting MMDCs will intensify conflict and violence. 3, electoral commission workload will be increased, causing overburden. 4, appointment of MMDCs ensures that voices of some historically disadvantaged groups are heard. 5, central policy coordination is better maintained through appointment of MMDCs than election. 6, the election of MMDCs would erode the non-partisan nature of local government. 7, the appointment of MMDCs is a constitutional mandate. 8, the risk of manipulation and corruption would be high if MMDCs were to be elected. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to clear the road and tell the whole house the truth and not the lie as my opponent did. My opponent asserted and even claimed that the current president of the House, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, supported that MMDCs must be elected. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget that in 2019, the former president of the land, Nana Akufo-Addo, decided to bring a referendum not to lead to the election of MMDCs. But it is this same John Dramani Mahama, our president, who opposed this, claiming it is bad and it will help the nation. So my opponent, that once it was a bad thing, it's always a bad thing. Point 2, again, my opponent asserted that Electing MMDCs will reduce political interference. The chair, political influence exists everywhere, not just in the nomination process. Even when MMDCs are elected, they might still face pressure from their parties or other political stakeholders. So my opponent, that your argument is flawed. The chair, again, my opponent asserted that election of MMDC aligns with the rule of law or strengthens rule of law. But the chair, the appointment of MMDC is a good thing, because my opponent's application of these principles of MMDC seems to be misguided, because when you talk about rule of law, it's the positions are technical and focused on development implementations, not political representation. Prioritizing competence and merits in selection of MMDCs might better serve democratic principle. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe our esteemed judges here were not elected, or are here because they are elected, but they are here because of their qualification, competence, and transparency in judging us. The chair, again, my opponent mounted this podium and asserted that the election of MMDCs would reduce central government control, and back this with the Article 240 Clause 2. But my distinguished guest and opponent, ladies and gentlemen, the 1992 Constitution already makes it mandatory for the appointment of MMDCs to be supported. So the MMDC per se is already included in the central government processes. The chair, the fact that Rebuttals was printed for my opponents to tell us doesn't mean they can make false accusations. The chair, we never said that elections of MMDCs undermine local development. The chair, again, we never said that the election of MMDCs will bring about corruption. We never said that, my opponent. But what we were trying to tell the House that it will reduce corruption and overburden on the government. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponent asserted that appointment of MMDCs will rather increase unity. But my opponent, the unity isn't automatically granted through elections. If the electoral process is tainted by irregularities or bias, it could instead undermine trust and unity. Moreover, the current appointment processes fosters trust by ensuring competent and dedicated individuals to serve. Rather than assuming elections are the solution, we focus on enhancing transparency and accountability. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
So with that word, thank you, it means that we've come to the end of contest 3 of the quarterfinal stage of the Love FM High Schools debate for the year 2025. Please put your hands together for St. Louis Senior High School and T.I. AMASS Kumasi. And you know what, from where I was seated and watching them do their thing on the podium, what came to mind is in the next few years, I would not be surprised to see some of these ladies and gentlemen in Parliament, this time around not saying Madam Chairperson, but they were saying Madam Speaker or Mrs. Speaker, because they would have become parliamentarians. Please put your hands together one more time for them. So thank you very much, Seiram Ajua Jandu and Pamela Jebi Morrison. Thank you very much, Efifa Kingsley Entry and Adobia Ya Patience. In a bit, the results will be ready. We will announce it, get to see which school is advancing to this semi-final stage, and also become a seeded school for the 2026 edition. At this point in time, please raise a round of applause. Let's welcome our chairperson, who has a few words for us as well. So, Madam Chairperson, I nearly said Madam Speaker. But as she joins us on the podium to grab the microphone and address us all, I would like to say a big thank you to those of you watching us on television, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, those of you watching us on Facebook on Love 99.5, and those listening to us on radio, also on Love 99.5. Madam Chairperson or Madam Speaker.
Able Chairperson, speakers, my video, please. Video on Jackson. Please, let's watch this video carefully.
for you. Jackson University College as the official partner for NIIT Limited India in Ghana through its subsidiary Jackson Institute of Technology is offering a unique platform for learners of all ages to access over 150 cutting-edge Industry 4.0 IT courses. Whether you're a student, a working professional, or an institution aiming to empower your team, we have the perfect course for you. Our curriculum covers everything from coding basics to the intricacies of artificial intelligence, machine learning, cybersecurity, data analytics, among others. Each course is carefully crafted to provide practical skills that are in high demand in today's technology-driven world. At Jackson Institute of Technology, we ignite a passion for technology that drives the next generation of innovators. These are some of our young and brilliant innovators displaying their projects after completing their Internet of Things program at Jackson Institute of Technology, like a cloud-enabled home assistant to turn electrical gadgets on or off, a smart dustbin, a motion-sensed steady lamp, smart hand washer, among other great inventions. While the participants that went through the App Inventor program developed apps like a fitness app, calculators, games, and so on. So why don't you empower your child today with tech skills? And the most exciting part is that our courses are tailored for everyone. So shape your future with Jackson Institute of Technology. Visit our website www.jit.edu.gh or contact us at 0596 996 038 or 0596 996 031 to learn more and enroll in our courses. Jackson Institute of Technology, where innovation meets education and your future begins.
Thank you very much for your audience. What you viewed was a program we conducted for JHS and SHS last year. This year too, we are about to hold the same program. We will teach our students coding, and that mobile app development, Internet of Things, Microsoft Office. The date is 8th July to 15th of August. So your brothers and sisters who have completed JHS, and even those who have left secondary school, I hope by 8th July you will be in school. So those who are able and at home can join this program. You saw what we taught our students. My grandchild, 10 years old, joined the class. He was able to produce 15 apps. Time will not allow me to expatiate on it. 15 apps. You also saw Internet of Things, whereby students were able to produce things on their own. No lecturer taught them what they should do, but they did it themselves. One student formed a bridge which can rise and then come down, so that when there are floods, the bridge will itself raise up, and when the floods are over, it will go down. Others developed that when you are entering your house, you don't need to call a houseboy to open your gate. The gate will open automatically. You enter your room, the lights will come on. We saw them. You want to go to the kitchen, you put a plate under the sink, the water will flow. When you remove the plate, that is it. Dustbin, you don't need to touch dustbin to open it and close it. Once you get closer to a dustbin, all these have been displayed here. It's wisdom, knowledge that we are teaching the youth. So some of the programs could be done online. Others too, you have to be present because you need to put wires and other things together. I'm telling you to broadcast to your dear brothers and sisters at home that this golden opportunity is there for everyone. Now, the teachers who are here, every year I give golden opportunity that teachers who are interested, Jackson will give a scholarship to them. Unfortunately, they give, Uncle Dave, they give excuses. We don't have time, we don't have this, and we don't have that. But those who are willing, those who will go through 1, 2, 3rd, and even the 4th place, the teachers who will be willing, we will be ready to teach all of them. I have some flyers here. You can take some along to your school. Thank you very much, Uncle Dave. The numbers are there. When we close, you can also see the numbers on our platform that Learn with Jackson. Jackson is a university college place. It's a university, and we have the best. the only institution in Ghana partnered with NIIT India. NIIT India is the worldwide, one of the most technology institutions in the world. Uncle Dave, God bless you richly.
And God bless you too immensely. Richly and immensely, which one is weightier? Well, immensely to you, Mom. Please put your hands together one more time for our chairperson. She also doubles up as the ambassador for the Love FM High Schools debate, and she just addressed you a while ago. Please take advantage of what she shared with you, especially to the teachers. Please take advantage of it. So, Becca, you're by my side again. And earlier you were writing, and I'm sure that you were jotting down some of the points and comments people have shared with us on Facebook. Well, she'll be sharing all that info with you in a bit. But Patricia,
David,
what do you have in your hands there?
well, I'm here to say thank you to Flora Tissues, providing our home, schools, offices, and cars with the most hygienic, absorbent, and affordable option to clean dirt, sweat, makeup, mucus, and even tears. Flora disposable 3-ply handkerchiefs, toilet rolls, multi-purpose towels, table napkins, and box tissue come in beautiful new packaging such as Flora Joy, Flora Smile, Flora Giant, and Flora Kids. Get Flora tissues from any shop or supermarket and also in traffic. Delta Paper Mill, we say thank you to Ghanaians for making Flora tissues #1.
We also say a big thank you to Tradewinds Chemists. They're the producers of the most effective anti-malarial treatment, Traumatem. Traumatem is an antihistamine-based product that contains artemether and lumefantrine. Now, the 24 blister pack of Traumatem tablets is a 6-dose full course treatment for malaria. Consult your doctor if symptoms persist after 3 days.
We say thank you also to New Generation Investment Services Limited. They are offering us managed investment, assisting with our pension planning and managing our Tier 2 and Tier 3 pensions. We have the Nidaso Mutual Fund, we have the NGIS Money Market Fund, and also private funds. Talk to our seasoned advisors today about your investment goals and aspirations. NGIS is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and also the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. Locate us on the first floor of the Cocoa Board House at Doom or visit www.ngis-group.com. NGIS, achieving excellent results on your investments.
Elevate the taste of your favorite wache, banku, kenke, rice, yam, or plantain with Wuma Mishito by Fire by Force, Windy Kra, Ubedi. Prepared hygienically with wholesome natural ingredients. It's available in both mild and hot flavors. Wuma Mishito is conveniently packaged in small and large sachets and is perfect for everyone and every event. It is available in all supermarkets nationwide. Wuma Mishito, Windy Kra, Ubedi.
We are saying thank you also to Best Brain Publications Limited. Every child with a good future depends on the foundation laid for them at the basic level. And so if you are a school, a teacher, a parent, yes, a guardian, and you're looking for quality NACA and GS approved textbooks for your wards, then please make your way to Best Brain Publications. You can find them at Pankrono here in Kumasi. Best Brain Publications, we secure tomorrow's academic well-being today.
We also say thank you to Roberts & Sons Limited Optical Services. Give your eyes the best care possible with Roberts & Sons Limited Optical Services today. With over 34 years experience, we render pediatric eye care, visual field testing, optical coherence tomography scans, and corporate eye care. Choose from our wide selection of 100% original frames and contact lenses. Shop online at www.robertsonsonsoptical.com or find our Kumasi branch at Ahonjo opposite the Forestry Commission. Roberts & Sons Limited Optical, seeing is believing.
Now, anybody who is serious about their family's health will go to the market and select family products from Grady Enterprise because we prioritize your family's well-being. Discover family mackerel in tomato sauce, family sardines in vegetable oil, and family tomatoes mix. All family products are rich in nutrients and vitamins. If you want bulk purchase, once again, make your way to Grady Enterprise or visit any neighborhood shop and you find a family product there.
A big thank you to Mezoya from Premium Foods, which is a beautiful and a delicious energizing cereal designed to make your breakfast better. This balanced meal combines corn, soya, milk, and essential nutrients, making it perfect for the entire family. It's also incredibly easy to prepare. Simply mix with cold or warm water and enjoy. Grab Mezoya Plus or Mezoya Super at the nearest supermarket. Mezoya, it's the perfect choice for a healthy, happy family.
Royal Mental Arithmetic, Royal Maths, is also a unique abacus program that applies mental arithmetic to everyday life, builds a strong foundation for critical thinking and also STEM education. Through playing, learning, and applying these concepts, Royal Mass offers a whole brain development program designed to help children overcome their math fear or anxiety, boost their confidence, and also foster their inner genius. Royal Mass, we give you unique education. We make sure every child is a champion, and we conquer the world.
Thanks also to Ultimate Fashion / Chapel Hill Community, which is the newest gated community situated at Santase Enyinem, Kumasi. It features level graded lands and limited plots of land that come with legal documents. We also help you with architects and artisans who will build according to your specifications. You can locate Chapel Hill today near A1 Hospital Santase and secure your home today. Chapel Hill Community, the place you deserve to live.
I want to find out from them whether they are ready to hear the comments. Are you ready to listen to what people are telling you on social media?
Yes, please.
Are you sure you will be happy?
Okay, what about you? Are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay, so it looks like they are set, but before we go, let's say a big thank you to Valley View University. Ghana's premier private university has opened admissions for its 2025-2026 academic year. We offer BSc options in nursing, midwifery, and mental health, computer science, information technology, biomedical technology, business administration, and other programs. Valley View also offers MBA all options and several options of MA, MPhil, and PhD in education and business administration. You can locate our Kumasi campus at Odium or visit www.vvu.edu.gh on how to apply. Valley View University, the preferred Christian university.
I'm going to read just 3 comments because David, I'm sure, is ready with the results. So, Sian Emmanuel says, what? Felicia Adra Owusu are born great. Okay, fine. Let me go to this one. AB Dan says, AMASS's principal speaker is the god of rebuttals. Hey, we are winning this hands down. Zachary Baba Seidu says, fluency is key. And the last one, Mickey the General says, phobia, say heat. Oh, okay, thank you for saying heat. So,
okay, just a few here. Sian Emmanuel is here with this one. He says, oh, phobia, the name of the president, I didn't hear. I only heard Nana Dramani, John Akufo-Addo, and others. Okay, so Jamanus also said, Slope says, your husband's from Owa's day, you're back. We are solidly behind you. Okay, Kofi Ofosu Mensah says, go, the pace setters, go for gold.
Okay, so David, I mean, we're just reading just a couple of the comments on social media, but keep it coming with the hashtag LUVFMHSD, even after the show. We still would want to discuss it on social media. Thank you very much, everybody.
For me, for those of you watching us on television, Joy Prime and Joy Learning. For me, those of you watching us on Facebook, on Love 99.5 FM.
And YouTube.
And for me, those of you listening to us on radio, you have no idea what it takes for these young ones to mount this podium and do what it is they do. So please, put your hands together for these young, amazing debaters who have come here to debate on behalf of their schools and make their schools and of course themselves proud. One more time, a round of applause for the debaters. Contest 3 in the quarterfinal stage of the 2025 edition of the Love FM High Schools debate has come to an end. The motion was MMDCEs must be elected. St. Louis Senior High School, they were for the motion. T.I. and Ahmadiyya Kumasi, they were against the motion. And now the results. Now, before I even share the results with you, tomorrow there's going to be the contest 4. That will be the last contest for the quarterfinal stage. So it means that from now on, each and every school that moves on to the next stage is going to become a seeded school for the 2026 edition of the Love FM High Schools debate. Now the results. St. Louis, you were for the motion, so as usual, I would start with your results, beginning with organization and clarity. One of the judges gave to you, St. Louis, 24. Another gave 26. The last one gave 27. 24, 26, 27 amounts to 77. When it comes to argument and development, St. Louis Senior High School, a judge gave you 23. Another judge gave you 25. Another gave you 24. 23, 25, 24 amounts to 72. Now, when it comes to effective use of rebuttal, St. Louis, you got 12 from one of the judges. Another gave you 11. And then the other gave you 13. So 12, 11, 13. That sums up to 36. Now let's take a look at presentation style. You got 8 from one judge, 8 from another, and then last gave 6. 8, 8, 6 amounts to 22. St. Louis Senior High School, when it comes to role as a particular debater, you got 8 from one judge, 8 from another, and then 7 from the final judge. 8, 8, 7, that amounts to 23. Let's put it together. 77, 72, 36, 22, 23 amounts to 230. Now the results for T.I. AMASS Kumasi. Let's begin with organization and clarity. You got 23 from one judge, 25 from another, and the other also gave you 25. So 23, 25, 25, that sums up to 73. Argument and development, T.I. AMASS Kumasi, you got 23 from one judge, 23 from another, and then 21 from the final judge. 23, 23, 21 amounts to 67. Let's now look at your scores for effective use of rebuttal. T.I. AMASS Kumasi, you got 9 from one judge, 12 from another, and the other gave you 12. So 9, 12, 12 amounts to 33. Presentation style, T.I. AMASS Kumasi, you got 8 from one judge, 6.5 from another, and then 5 from the other judge. So 8, 6.5, 5 amounts to 20. Now the final one, which of course is role as a particular debater, you got 8 from one judge, 6.5 from another, and then 7 from the final judge. 8, 6.5, 7 amounts to 22. Let's put it together. 73, 67, 33, 20, 22 amounts to 214. So with a unanimous decision, by a unanimous decision, St. Louis Senior High School moves on to the next stage of the competition. Now when I say unanimous, it means that all the 3 judges scored in favor of St. Louis. Now St. Louis, I'm told that your husbands are the Owarians. Your next contest is going to be against St. Hubert's Seminary. So go prepare. Oh, so sorry, St. Hubert's Seminary or Kumasi High School. Their contest is tomorrow. St. Hubert, Kumasi High School. So go get yourselves ready. Whether you face St. Hubert or you face Kumasi High School, tomorrow will determine that. But for now, Patricia Mabos, please take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, David. I'm taking it away here back at the foyer. And also, so we have come to the end of contest 3 of the quarterfinal stage of the Love FM High School's debate. At the end of it all, St. Louis have joined the likes of Prempeh College and KNUST Senior High School to the semi-final stage of this competition. And just as you rightly said, tomorrow we are going to see the competition between defending champions Kumasi High School and St. Hubert Seminary. They were also semi-finalists from last year. And so we are still live on Radio Love 99.5 FM, live on TV, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, and also on our Facebook and YouTube channel. Can we have the patron, of course, I must say, from St. Louis, the Joy Around, and also our debaters from the schools. We are here to once again have a conversation with them as to how they saw the competition after everything. But remember that we do this in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service, the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High Schools, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, the Christian Service University, and all of our proud sponsors. We are happy to have you on board. Let's have the ladies from St. Louis join us right now, and of course find out from them how they felt during the competition. I asked you whether you were ready for the comments initially, and you said yes. Did it reflect in the judgment for you?
Okay, so for the comments, it was okay, yes. I expected such comments though. But I actually got tense when I started to fumble on stage. So I didn't know we would actually get it this far. But our God doesn't fail us, and indeed He has shown us that we are.
Let's see. You could potentially meet the defending champions of St. Hubert tomorrow. Are you ready for them?
Oh, of course, you're ready for anything.
Okay. Just stay there. Let's start with. Let's go back to your sister here. PM, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I am very sure that T.I. AMASS was a run for you, like they gave you a good run for your money.
Oh, of course they did.
I see. What do you want to tell them?
Okay, they did so well, honestly. It's not easy to like stand in front of a lot of people and speak, so they did so well, and I want to congratulate them. They've done so well, but if you compete with St. Louis, they have to be a winner, and St. Louis has to be the winner.
What is actually the end goal for St. Louis Senior High School?
We are going for gold.
You are going for gold. Okay, I thought you tell me you are going for Yas.
Oh, yes, it's nice, but we are going for gold, and we add Yas to it.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Let's speak to your patron. DeJoy is also here. DeJoy, I think today I'll let you explain the word DeJoy for me. What's the meaning of your name, DeJoy?
Okay, thank you very much. DeJoy, D-E is a French word meaning for. So for joy, I believe you understand. So I am always happy. I am the happiest person right now because I am happy to be part of the success story of St. Louis Senior High School because it's been long overdue since we got to semi-finals or we got seeded, and I'm very happy. I said that anybody who competes in St. Louis is competing God. So you see, AMASS tried, but 15 points difference. Thank you very much.
Wait. Tizi and Kafui are around. What do you want to tell them? These are your brothers.
I wanted to bring him here, but he said he doesn't want to come. I told him this. When I was at Bompata, we met T.I. AMASS and we kicked them at the prelims. So I told him, so he was saying that you've met your senior brother, you want to kick your senior brother out. I told him today, St. Louis will kick them out, and we've done that. Thank you.
Okay, so we're signing off right here, but thank you so much for joining us on radio, Love 99.5 FM, joining us on TV, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, on your multi-TV digibox. We say thank you also to the Ghana Education Service, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High Schools. We have also the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council on board, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, and all of our proud sponsors. We are happy that you joined us once again. Keep the conversation happening still on social media with the hashtag LUVFMHSZ. My name is Patricia Mabosu, and from production here in Kumasi, we say stay tuned. Tomorrow we have another competition for you. Once again, it is between defending champions Kumasi High School and St. Hubert Seminary. For now, can you ladies join me for us to say bye-bye? Wait, hold this for me. You two hold this for me, and let me hold my Yas toothbrush. So on 3, 2, 1, what do we say? Bye-bye!
Which side do you represent? For or against the motion? Stay glued to your superstation Love 99.5 FM, Joy Learning, and Joy Prime as we bring to you the biggest stage where schools in Ashanti show their prowess through debate. Rally behind your alma mater to glory as gallant young men and women from the various senior high